Peace and love, guys. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful, magical, beautiful, glorious day. Once again, you guys know what it is. I am sending a lot of love, a lot of peace, and good energy out to each and every one of you. If you guys are new here, my name is Sheldon. I help people ascend their consciousness, discover their path to enlightenment. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor and absolutely obliterate that like button. Subscribe to the channel, of course, too. It'd be kind of weird if people were just watching this and not subscribed. But it is what it is. So today I want to talk about the Law of One material, and I just want to summarize what I've learned thus far. I've been studying the Law of One for quite some time. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of stuff that's obviously extremely difficult to grasp from a human being's perspective, if you will, because the Law of One is a channeling from Ra, who we know as an Egyptian god, but who is now a social memory complex, which is the memories of hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of souls who have already been, to the Earth plane matrix and have learned all the lessons that they need to learn here and moved on past this specific level. So Ra resides in the 6th density. So this is how this works. There are 7 densities. He describes them as densities. Now, you could think of these densities as dimensions, if you will, but they're called densities. So essentially, the first density starts as, consciousness would start as things like rock, water, air. That's your first density. Your second density is plants, animals, all those type of things. Third density is the human being. The 4th, 5th, 6th, don't know what it is. Of course, as human beings, we don't know what it is. And the 7th density is source. So it's interesting because 7s govern the universe. 7 colors of the rainbow, 7 musical notes on the instrument, 7 chakras. I was destined with 7s. Like, ever since I started my spiritual journey, I always see 777. It is God's number. And it's interesting too because the 7th letter in the alphabet is G for geometry or God. So this channeling brings about all the secrets of the universe, everything that we would need to know in order to have an advantage, be very advantageous about what we're doing here and how to evolve, because that's what it's all about. It's all about evolution, right? So your consciousness literally started as rock, water, air, until it became aware. You probably rested there for millions of years, according to the Law of One. And then finally moved on to things like insects, plants, and then moved on to animals, right? So there's levels to this shit. It's just like a human being. I mean, you see some human beings, right? You see some human beings that just, they don't get it. They go through life and they screw other people over, and they don't have a lot of love in their hearts and stuff like that. And that's because you need to see and experience every side of the coin. That's why you're here. You need to experience it all. You literally experience everything. Everything. So think about how long you've been here for. And this means that life in general is infinite. It's abundant and infinite, and it never ends, right? This is just one of millions of universes that, we have access to. And we will experience it all before the end of time. So this information is very esoteric, but I highly suggest you guys go do some research about the Law of One, especially if you haven't heard about it yet. It's a direct channeling, a one-on-one channeling, and there's a bunch of sessions online. I'm going to link all that in the description below. Adam Akel, or Abe Cole, on YouTube as well does a really good job summarizing the Law of One. That's kind of what his niche is, what he's devoted his channel to, is just summarizing the Law of One material and really breaking it down so it's good to understand, easy to understand. Like I said, I don't have 100% knowledge and information locked into my mind about the Law of One, but I do have a good understanding of what it is, and it made a lot of sense to me. It resonates within the soul, and that's the thing you got to look for the most, is you got to see what resonates within you, right? And I've had dreams before where I've been rock and water and all that stuff, and animals, and they say your dreams are about like past lives, and so it's very interesting. It makes a lot of sense to me, and it really made me comfortable, super comfortable with life, knowing that this is infinite. There's nothing to worry about whatsoever. There's nothing to fear. Death is an illusion, right? There's nothing to fear whatsoever. When you live in your heart space, then you're going to be okay. And the thing about leveling up is, so there's two paths. There's the service to self path, and there's the service to others path. And either or isn't better than the other, right? You can choose either one. But you have to be, I think, 51% polarized to service to others. 51% polarized to service to others in order to level up and move up your densities. And I can't remember the exact number of service to self, but I think it's like 95% or something. You have to be like 100% service to self. So some like examples of that would be like things like people like Hitler and just bad people that only think about themselves, that we think are bad anyways. But I mean, there's a lot of information on this, and it's good to go out and do your research, and I just want to summarize it really quick. I don't want to get into all the details. I just want to tell you guys what the Law of One is and what it's done for me in my life. And the main thing that it's done for me in my life is just give me the peace of mind knowing that life is infinite, that there's nothing to worry about, that it's essentially a game. We're here to level up and move up these levels or densities until we get back to source, until we are drawn back into the oneness and love that is the universe, right? So it makes me want to become a better person. It makes me want to help as many people as possible and continue helping people and continue being on that service to others path, because that's the path that I've chosen. I want to service other people. And it makes me extremely happy at the end of the day, knowing that, I don't have to take this so seriously. People take life so seriously. And they think that they need to compete with other people. And they think that they need to have this by this time, and they have to have this car and whatever it is, or this job or this degree by this time. And it causes so much stress and unhappiness. Like, what is the rush? Like, I don't understand. Like, and this comes from parents. If you're a parent and you're watching this right now, you need to look at yourself and how you've raised your kids. And if you've pushed your kids to do certain things or whatever, I was fortunate enough in my family where, I was, I had a very blessed childhood, and, I wasn't really forced to do anything I didn't want to do, and I followed the path that I wanted to follow. But that's not the case for a lot of people and for a lot of children. Like, they get conditioned by what their parents want for them, not what they want, what their parents want for them. And it literally strips the individualism out of that specific child. Like, we're all here for a very specific reason, and we need to explore our natural talents and abilities in order to do something big in the world, right? So, I'm very fortunate that way, and this is how we have to look at life. And the law of one has taught me that, because I know that everyone is special and unique in their own ways. And when we go to school and all that stuff, it doesn't really establish that uniqueness and bring out that uniqueness in a lot of people. So it's very important to, especially if you're at a point in your life right now where you don't really know what you want to do or who you want to be. We need to look inside of ourselves and we need to ask ourselves those questions like, who do we want to be? Who are we? What are we doing here? What do I want to do with my life? What do I really want to do with my life? Not what society wants me to do. What does my heart tell me? Right? And this is something that's taught in the law of one. Like, you got to follow your heart. If you follow your heart, you'll always be good in this life. Always, 100%. You will always be good in this life as long as you follow your heart space. And be who you truly are. And don't put on a mask for anyone else. Right? And choose if you want to service other people or service yourself. And understand that life is just a game. Life is just a game. You're quite literally in a real life version of The Sims. And that's not even a joke. That's 100% facts. So once we adapt this mindset, then what is there to worry about, right? And I know I'm getting a little off topic here, but this is all, this whole mindset really was created from, the law of one and these teachings and this channeling. So I highly suggest that you guys do some research and dive into the law of one. There's a lot of material. However, this is how you expand your consciousness and really open up different avenues. And information is coming out of worldly, like it's direct. So, once again, do some research. I'm going to link all that stuff in the description below. I'm going to link Adam's channel in the description below as well. That way you guys have access to, more direct information if you're interested in researching the law of one. From the research I've done, it's super interesting. It resides in the soul. I know it's truth because it resides, so it's pretty much all I wanted to say today, guys. I just wanted to summarize the law of one quickly for you guys and tell you, what my experience with it is, and how it's affected me as a soul and an individual, and it's been amazing. So again, all I wanted to say, I hope you guys have a beautiful, wonderful, magical, glorious day. Once again, I'm sending everyone a lot of good energy on this day. Peace and love, and have a beautiful day.